Before I start, I want to put out a spoiler alert for my patrons on Patreon who are expecting some happy mail from me for the winter season. If that applies to you and you want to be surprised when the mail comes in, then you may not want to watch this video. I am working on these mini junk journals for the Strawberry Fields level of patrons on Patreon. This is the winter reward that I am just about finished and ready to mail to them. It's a really simple project, so I thought I would show it to you in case you have some last-minute little Christmas gifts you'd like to make. This is just an idea that I put together quickly because I had some supplies I wanted to use up. So it's simply a glassine bag cover covered with some sheet music and then a decorative little card, which is from the Woodland Nature Notes digital collection for winter. Some burlap here, and then on the closure I stamped the recipient's initial on the tag. So super quick and easy. Here's what the inside looks like. When you open the bag, I have a winter poem that I printed onto some eco-dyed looking paper, and then I have a small organza little pocket there with one of the printables from that same collection, and then just a combination of book pages and plain paper. This would be a perfect little list maker journal with a few just little interesting pages in there. And then on the back, just a tuck spot made out of a tag and an extra large tag because I wanted something peeking out of the top. So I'm just going to show you quickly how I put one of these together. The first thing I'm going to use is this little wax sandwich bag or glassine bag. It's about 6 by 9. And it works perfectly for making pages on the inside that are just half of a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. The next thing I did was trim one of these sheet music pages down to fit the cover, but I wanted some of the brown showing, so I trimmed it about 1/8 of an inch smaller all around. And I'm gluing it so that the shorter side of the bag is on the inside of the book cover. Now, Fabri-Tac is not going to glue this down permanently. You'll need to secure it down a little bit better, either with your sewing machine. You could stitch around the edges. I'm just going to add staples on the corner, but I'll do that a little bit later on. So for the papers on the inside, I've got some ledger paper that I simply cut in half. I've got some blank pages and some book pages. I have an index card here. I have a guest check And I have one of these graph pages. So I'm just folding all of these in half, and then I will decide in what order they're going to go on the inside. I'm going to use a pamphlet stitch to attach the signature to the cover. So now to poke the holes, I'm just centering the cover and the signature, and I'm going to eyeball the holes. I don't really need to measure. And to hold this little guest check down centered, I added a piece of washi tape there. It's just holding it down temporarily. So I'm just eyeballing this. I'm going to go to the middle here, poke my first hole, and then one about an inch from the top and an inch from the bottom. Just going to add my clip here to the other side, and I'm going to get my needle and thread. The next thing I want to do is put this image on the cover. It's simply a doily layered with some burlap and this little card. So they're just glued to each other with Fabri-Tac. And then I just have some craft glue here to attach the doily onto the cover. And I've been gluing these just a little bit more towards the top of the book. Now I'm going to attach this little bag onto the first page, and I'm going to put this little tag on the back here as the tuck spot. And I only put glue on the part where the ribbon is, so there's a little bit of thickness there to hold it down. Now, what I have found for gluing onto the glassine is this glue works really well. It's a lot more permanent than the Fabri-Tac. But one of the things is that as it ages, it gets really, really thick. So I've just been using a little paintbrush to get it onto the to the tags. So I'm just gluing it down as a tuck spot. So now that my tag is secured down in this corner, I can add my staples.
And this is just like an extra way to secure this paper onto the cover, but it also coordinates
With these little cards. That's where I got the idea. When I realized I had the digital staples in there, I thought I could just do, instead of stitching each one, that I would just put a staple. And if you wanted to just omit the stitching or the staples, like I said, this one here would be a good choice for holding down the paper to the glassine. I'm sure there are other ones, but those are the glues that I have on hand. Okay, so our little book is almost finished. So now I'm going to put my poem on the inside. This is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. He published this in the 1800s. The poem is on a eco-printed background, and this is a dollar digi in my store. So it makes for a really nice grungy look. So this looks really nice because you can see the writing through the glassine.
And then on the inside here in this little
Pocket, we have this owl tag.
and then on the back I just need to add
My baker's twine to the tag, and that'll be it. And now you can see it peeking out of the back like this on top. And I've got two kinds of closures. One is this cotton twill tape, and the other one is just some seam binding. And I wanted to label each one, so I've got these little round tags. I've stamped the person's initial. I've got a little piece of cheesecloth just on the back there, and just a regular safety pin.
So I'm just attaching that to the knot.
And that's it. So these make nice little teacher's gifts or hostess gifts. So I'm really excited to get these all ready and send them to my patrons. If you have any questions, let me know. I am now going to take some time off over the holidays, so if I'm not back before then, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I hope your holidays and the new year bring you joy, and that you feel loved, and that you are surrounded by the things and people that matter most. Bye!